Sometimes the world forgets its heart. But every once in a while, something happens that reminds us who we are. This is a story of a little girl with hope, an incurable diagnosis, and a pop superstar who turned a moment into a miracle. In the sweltering heat of a New Jersey summer, 13-year-old Ayanna Lewis stood at the side of the road, surrounded by cut watermelon, a jar full of loose change, and a battle she should have never had to fight. Just 2 months earlier, Ayanna had been diagnosed with stage 3 lung cancer, a rare diagnosis for a young teenager, a devastating blow for her mother, who worked 2 jobs just to stay afloat. But when the medical bills started pouring in, the real tragedy unfolded. Despite having health insurance, Ayanna's treatment was deemed non-essential by the company's policy. They refused to cover the cost of her chemotherapy, the medication she needed to survive. Ayanna's mother, Tisha, begged them for help. She called. She emailed. She even sent a letter to the CEO. But all she got was silence. With tears in her eyes, Tisha turned to her daughter and said, "Baby, I don't know what to do." And Ayanna looked back and said, "It's okay, Mama. I'll help." Sometimes the world forgets to have a heart. But every once in a while, something happens that reminds us who we are. This is the story of a little girl with hope, an incurable diagnosis, and a pop superstar who turned a moment into a miracle. The next morning, Ayanna used her allowance to buy 2 watermelons. She cut them with her mom's help, packed them into a cooler, and set up a little stand outside her grandmother's house. She made a sign in pink and purple marker. "Please help save a life. Pays for my chemotherapy. Every little bit helps." She stood there every day after school and every weekend. She smiled through the pain. She waved at passing cars. She sold slices for $1. And little by little, quarters and dollar bills began to fill the jar. People started talking, writing stories on X, and posting on TikTok about the girl selling watermelon. One Saturday afternoon, as Ayanna wiped sweat from her forehead, a sleek black car slowed down near her stand. The window rolled down, and that's when it happened. The woman in the passenger seat leaned out and smiled. It was Nicki Minaj. Yes, that Nicki Minaj. Grammy-nominated, platinum-selling international superstar. Queens-born, pink wig-wearing rap royalty. And she was looking right at Ayanna. Nicki leaned out and said, "Hi, baby. I'll take everything you've got." Ayanna blinked, then blinked again. She thought maybe it was a dream. But Nicki wasn't done. She stepped out of the car, walked up to the table, and pulled a crisp envelope from her bag. "You're not just selling watermelon, sweetheart. You're fighting. And I want to fight with you." Ayanna opened the envelope. Inside was a check for $150,000. That moment went viral. But what came next? It was bigger than clicks, bigger than fame. Nicki didn't just write a check and disappear. She took Ayanna under her wing. She called in favors. She booked appointments. She personally introduced Ayanna to one of the top pediatric oncology specialists in New York City. Dr. Eleanor Park had a waiting list a mile long, but when Nicki called, that list vanished. Ayanna was admitted within 48 hours. Chemotherapy is brutal, especially for a child. But Ayanna? She showed up with glitter on her cheeks and a playlist of Nicki Minaj songs in her headphones. Every time she finished a round of chemo, the nurses played Moment for Life and danced with her in the hallway. And Nicky visited often, when she could. Sometimes in disguise. Sometimes bringing wigs and makeup kits. She told Ayanna, "You're stronger than most grown men I know. You're queen, and queens don't quit." Month after month, the tumors shrank. The treatments worked. Her numbers improved. Her smile got bigger. And then, exactly 12 months after the day Nicky rolled down her window, the doctors ran the final scan. No cancer. Not a trace. Ayanna was officially in remission. Elated, Nicky threw a block party in Ayanna's honor. She didn't invite the press. They just showed up. She didn't announce it on X. The town did that for her. The food? Caribbean. The music? Loud. The message? Clear. This is what it looks like when a community protects its children. This is what it looks like when celebrity meets purpose. This is what it looks like when a child refuses to give up and someone powerful says, "I see you." Ayanna danced in the street that night. Hair growing back, energy restored, laughter ringing through the neighborhood. She wore a pink crown and a sash that read "Cancer Crusher," and she told the crowd, "Thank you for believing in me when I didn't know how to keep going. Nicky, thank you for showing me that miracles are real. You're my hero, but I'm gonna be one too." Inspired by Ayanna, Nicky started a fund called Watermelon Warriors, a nonprofit that helps cover cancer treatments for children whose insurance has failed them. In just 6 months, it raised over $4 million. Ayanna is now one of its youngest ambassadors. She visits hospitals. She speaks at schools. And she still sells watermelon on weekends. But now it's for others. She tells each kid, "You might be small, you might be sick, but you're bigger than the pain, and you're never alone." In a world that often looks away from suffering, one little girl stood still. One woman rolled down her window, and everything changed. Ayanna's journey began with a sign that said, "Every little bit helps." But what she showed the world is that when love shows up, every little bit becomes everything. Every child deserves a chance to live. Every voice deserves to be heard. Be someone's miracle. If you believe in the power of kindness, love, and unexpected heroes, share this video, comment, take a friend, and hit the subscribe button. Let the world know miracles happen every moment of every day. If you'd like to hear more real stories like this one, remember to hit the like and subscribe button. Tag a friend in the comments below to keep this story alive.